Please introduce yourself.
My name is Ben Bergen. I'm professor of cognitive science here at UC San Diego.
What classes do you teach here?
Right, so I teach several undergraduate classes. I teach Cogs 15, which is about the science of profanity, the cognitive science of profanity. I teach Cogs 101C, which is our core language class. And I teach Cogs 153, which is about language comprehension.
How did you get into the field of cognitive science?
I started out being interested in language. We had a lot of languages in my house when I was growing up, and when I went to college I started studying linguistics because I thought that's how you studied languages. And I took this one class that was cross-listed with cognitive science, and it was about language in the mind, and I thought it was the coolest thing I'd ever taken, and that sort of propelled me into the field of cognitive science.
What is your research about, and where do you think it will take you? What do you hope to learn or discover?
Yeah, I'm fascinated with language and how it works in the mind. In particular, most of my work is on meaning. Why it is that words mean what they mean, how we learn that they mean what they mean, how we manage to combine them when we hear them, and how we come up with words for new ideas, new meanings. I think that as we move forward, we're discovering more about not only how humans do this, but how we can train machines to do something similar. And my research sort of lives at the border between these two things. How can we best understand what humans do so that we can use those solutions, those human solutions, to better create applications that allow us to communicate with machines in a similar way.
What is the most important lesson you hope your students will take with them after taking your class?
I think what's most important from my classes is that everything can be science. That you can do a science of whatever you want. In my classes, it's science of language, and we study and talk about studies of things that people probably never thought you could do science of, like meaning and sounds and swearing and all kinds of things. And the scientific mindset, the idea that you could have precise notions of how something works, that you could make predictions and test them, that's something that applies to absolutely everything in our lives. And I want people to come away from my class with that view of their own potential in terms of learning about the world.
What advice would you give students considering joining the cognitive science field?
Well, it's very diverse. So many people come in looking for specific things that they can find, but they just need to find where in cognitive science those things are. People come in because they're interested in human-computer interactions, or they come in because they're interested in cognition in the brain, or they come in because they're interested in language and the body, or anthropology, or whatever it is, and they can find those things in cognitive science. I think cognitive science remains an interdisciplinary activity where people really need to chart their own course, and so I would recommend that people come in with a very clear mindset of what they want out of cognitive science, because they can make their own trajectory through the field.
What is a fun fact that not many people know about you?
Right, so I play ultimate frisbee, and that is a sport that doesn't involve dogs in any way, although most people think it does. And I am no longer a national champion at this sport for my age bracket, but I was last year. And the main reason that someone who's as inathletic as me can be a national champion is that it turns out that after a certain age, people's bodies start to break down, and everyone is at the same level, pretty much. So it's basically just whoever wants it more.
All right, thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.